Hey guys, in this video, I want to show you how to make your own holographic trading cards. These are a few of the custom cards that I printed using some transparency paper as well as some TECKWRAP decal used for cards. So most of the artwork you see right here I found on Google or DeviantArt. So I'll leave links to some of these images you see right here because I didn't draw them, but I also wanted to give credit to the original artist. And this stuff here is TECKWRAP. It's basically like this holographic paper or decal that's used to wrap cars, and it's great for this type of project. I print using a laser printer onto a clear transparency sheet, and then I stick the decal on the back. Then I'll usually attach it to a real Pokemon card, like an energy card, just to finish it off to give it that authentic look. So to start off, if you want to make some custom cards, you can use an online card maker. So this one is pokecard.net. And from here, you can basically design your own. You can basically upload any images you want and hit the generate button, and it will allow you to create a custom Pokemon card or even a Yu-Gi-Oh card. So there's a lot of these out on the internet right now, so just Google it, online card maker, for your favorite type of card, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it is, and you should be able to find one. And I just Googled this one, and this is what I'm using for the example here. There's also a lot of artwork available on deviantart.com as well for you to use. So for these particular ones, I actually kind of customized it a bit. So I got the artwork from, I believe, DeviantArt, and then what I did was I also downloaded some sort of template to customize the fonts and the graphics and whatnot to make it look more like a real GX Pokemon card. After I created a few of them, I put them onto one sheet and printed them all at the same time, 8 of them at once. However, before you print them, what you want to make sure you do is you invert the artwork, because you want to print it on the other side, and then when you flip it over, it will be the proper way. So in every image program, you should be able to flip the art or invert it, like I'm showing you here. This is the best way when it comes to printing on transparency film. Here I'm using my Brother MFC 9130 color laser printer to print on this transparency. Just make sure you get the right transparency film for your laser printer or your inkjet printer. So here is the transparency film that I'm using. I got this off Amazon, so I'll try to leave links in the description, as well as this TECKWRAP stuff. Again, I'll leave links in the description, and this is what creates the holographic effect. And here is the sheet that I already printed in the inverse using the transparency film with my color laser. So here I'm going to roll out just enough of this holographic paper or decal here. So cut enough just so that it will cover the back of the transparency film. So roughly 8.5 by 11. So having already done this a few times, I think the best way to apply this decal onto the transparency film without having any bubbles is to just do it this way. I essentially stick it onto the cutting mat with about, I think like a 1/2 inch of it. And then what I do is I place the transparency film underneath, and then I slowly peel away at the backing for the decal, and then I smooth out the surface. And this method I found to be very effective in terms of applying it without any bubbles. So I'll try to play this through just to see how to apply it for you. And as you basically apply it to the transparency film, you want to peel back the backing slowly and essentially just smooth out any bubbles while you're doing it. You can't really reposition the decal once you stick it onto the transparency, because if you lift it up, it will take some of the toner off of it. So you just have to do it in one go, and hopefully you don't have any bubbles. So once you get the first few inches of the decal applied, it gets easier. And as you can see, I don't even have to peel away the backing. It actually kind of slides off itself as you're pushing it down the transparency. And I will try to play this through all the way. There are some bubbles you can see already, but fortunately for me, I was able to push a lot of it out. So even though you see bubbles there, you can still like smooth it out. So now that the decal has been applied, we're going to trim these cards, and we're going to use a sharp knife. Make sure it's sharp because it's easier to cut, and obviously you use a straight edge. And since it is a sharp knife, make sure you are very careful or have an adult do it. So I trimmed the bottom cards that were going horizontal, and I just wanted to give you a close-up of what they look like. I think they turned out pretty good, and now it's just a matter of trimming them individually and applying them to cards. So you can see that there's no bubbles or anything, so I was able to apply it pretty good. I actually use a real Pokemon card to use as a guide for trimming the printed card. So here I have an energy card that isn't worth a whole lot, so I use that as a guide, and then I use a straight edge to cut with it. Once it's trimmed, I can attach it to this energy card here. So you can use like double-sided tape or a little bit of glue, but we're gonna stick them together, and then we're gonna trim the edges with it with a corner rounder. So I'm gonna grab some double-sided tape here and show you how to do that. You could also use a little bit of glue, but this is what I have. I have some double-sided tape kicking around, and I'm going to apply a little piece here just on the this energy card here, just to hold it in place, because ultimately I'm going to be putting this in a sleeve and then like a top loader or screw down or something like that, and I don't really need it to be like attached to the back really well. You know, it's just for looks anyways, so just stick them together, and after that we want to trim the edges to make them round. You can use some scissors, but I actually have this little corner rounder that I picked up from Amazon, and it works really well in getting that perfect rounded edge. There's 3 settings: small, medium, large, and the small one is perfect for making trading cards. And all you do is slot it in and then push it down, and you can see that it makes the perfect rounded edge. Do that for the other 3 corners, and trimming the edges really makes it, you know, cleans it up and makes it look more authentic. You know, because Pokemon cards are not straight, sharp edges. They're actually rounded, if you've seen any of the cards. And just do it for all 3 of them. And once we're done here, you'll see how much better it looks with rounded edges versus straight edges. If you're going to be making a lot of your custom cards, I highly recommend getting a corner rounder like this Kadomaru Pro. And I think I picked this up for like less than 20 bucks, so it wasn't a whole lot of money. I used to cut them with scissors manually, and it took a while and it wasn't perfect. So using this little tiny device really made it quicker and more professional. So to finish it off, once you're done trimming the cards, you can put them in any holder you like. I personally like putting them into these Ultra Pro 1/4 inch screw downs. Just gives you that finished professional look, and it already has a recessed cutout for the card, and it's just a matter of putting it in and then screwing it down. You can also use penny sleeves or top loaders if you want. It really depends how you want to display your card, but I think it looks much better with these 1/4 inch screw downs. And you can see that I already have a Blastoise GX card that I made, and I think they look pretty cool in these screw downs here. If you plan on making these type of custom cards for proxy use in a game, then you would just probably put them in a sleeve instead of like something rigid like this. Anyways, that's how I make my holographic custom trading cards. You can use this process for other types of cards besides Pokemon, and hopefully you found this useful, and I will see you in the next video.